In Grounded 2, they're strong, and then there's borderline broken, and this build definitely falls into that second category. With massive health, ridiculous regeneration, and enough lifesteal to shrug off even the deadliest combos, this setup turns you into a walking fortress. You don't just survive fights, you outlast everything the game throws at you. What's up guys, my name is Fervor, welcome back to the channel, and today we're breaking down my nearly unkillable tank build designed to keep you in the fight forever. Whether you're holding the front line for your squad or just walking into danger solo, this kind of setup lets you stand your ground and watch enemies fall apart trying to take you down. Let's begin. Alright guys, so now that you have a better idea of what the build is about, let's go over the parts and try to put it together. And pardon my voice, I am a little under the weather, so it may sound a little bit weird today compared to previous videos. So first things first, let's go over the weapon. We're going to be using the Mosquito needle. This is a fast and deadly rapier that mimics the functionality of a mosquito blood-sucking tool. And what this weapon does is it just does lifesteal. So whenever you deal damage, it will do a heal over time effect that will just heal you. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, but it's really nice because it just gives you a ton of staying power. You have tons of defense. You're already hard to kill in general. Your blocking is going to cover everything due to the Ladybug shield that we're going to be using. And because of that, you just have this insane amount of staying power, and just having healing alongside that is going to really help it out a lot. In addition to this, we're going to be using the Ladybug setup. This is one of the few fighter setups that I actually like in the game right now, because though the fighter thing is kind of wasted, melee attacks generate more threat, like that's super bad. I really wish the team actually made a tank setup and they made a fighter setup, because all fighters are tanks and not really, they don't really get a good affix in my opinion. It's good for team setup, but if you're playing solo, you just get a non-DPS benefit, which is kind of lame in my opinion. Anyway, what makes this set so good is that whenever you block an attack, you will restore health slightly. It's pretty good for stamina reduction on the block, so even some of the biggest attacks will also, you know, just not take as much stamina. And so yeah, bargain block is super big with this armor set. So as you probably come to expect, this is a very easy armor set to get. All you need to do is slay a handful of ladybugs and you have this armor set. It's an easy, super early armor set that's super valuable. I think it's really nice, and I'm a big fan of this. Moving on to our shield, we have the Scarlet Aegis. Now this is an exceptionally well crafted lady guard, inspiring buggies to preserve. And all this really means is whenever you do a parry, a perfect parry, you will heal your buggies near you. Now I want to be clear when it comes to this setup that this shield is, if I'm not mistaken, bugged. I've seen multiple times where I've parried and it didn't heal, and this may not be functioning right now. Now that isn't necessarily a negative, because you still get the same properties of a lady guard. It's basically the same thing. You get the heavy shield functionality, and this means that whenever you block, you will block 100% of the damage. And this actually goes for poison and effects that are put on you whenever you're hit. Other shields, whenever they're hit, because they don't have 100% block strength, if you block, you'll still take the status effect, but this weapon will actually block it, or the shield will actually block it. So that's actually a really nice benefit that comes with it, making you really strong. Now if you're trying to figure out where this is located, it's going to be located basically right here in this little trench here. I'll have it playing on screen now, but all you need to do in order to get to this is you're going to need to bring your amp buggy. There's going to be a cave. From what I understand, there's a aggressive roach queen on the outside. I never ran into this, I don't think, but there's supposed to be an aggressive roach queen out there. You're gonna go in, you're gonna need to bring brat burst, because there's gonna be a wall that you need to blow into. Inside there's gonna be a handful of aggro scorpions. Not too many, I think there's like 4, one big one, one medium, and 2 smaller ones. You need to kill those, and then once you go inside, it'll be behind a wall that you need to blow up. It'll just be sitting inside of a chest. So yeah, that's where you can get this shield, and I don't think you need to upgrade it from what I can tell. Now onto the trinket, we're going to be using the Blistering boiler. Now this is a unstable boiling gland that radiating blistering heat. And if you've been watching some of the gameplay footage, you'll probably notice that I've been using this to set things on fire. And what this does is whenever you have a 3-hit combo, it will emit a sizzling blast wave that will set things, you know, to sizzle. And this is really good in my opinion for some of those builds, especially if you're playing this as like a like in a group and you're functionally the frontliner. This gives you really good AoE damage, and it makes you, as someone who is functionally the tank, actually deal some reasonable damage. And you'll see in some of the footage that I can actively do some pretty good AoE despite just hitting the boss and stuff. And I think that whenever you have any form of like tank focused build, you should absolutely always have some type of AoE built within it to kind of deal with things. And you'll find that most enemies that are strong are weak to like spicy right now, and the ones that aren't weak to it are like beetles or roaches, like they're like super whatever. So I thought this would be the best one for you. It's going to give you AoE, it's going to give you good damage, it's going to give you good damage against strong enemies. It's just super good for a tank setup in my opinion. Now to the hard part is actually getting this, and what you need to do is to face off against a bunch of bombardier beetles, and it's allegedly supposed to be a 4% drop chance, but it took me 42 beetle kills to get mine. So, you know, take with that, it feels like it's 2%, but people keep claiming it's 4%, so I don't know. There are a bunch of them here. I think there's like 5 or 6 spawn here. You can come up here to the pit. Another location is along this line here. This trench line here, there's 2 or 3 bombardiers. If you want to farm bombardiers, that's where I would specifically go. But yeah, it's a pain. I had to do 42. I'm so mad, honestly. Now moving on to the Milk Molars. And I know I don't typically do this because this is super important to add. Now, personally, I haven't had the ability to find more Milk Molars. But Milk Molars, sorry. I call them Milk Molars. Like, let's say you're building a new build, you're just doing this build early or whatever. The first thing I would actually level would be healing. Healing is so big for this build. I believe this can go up to a 35% increased healing, and that is so massive for you. Like, this will make you unkillable. I only have 15%, but if you can get this to the 135%, which would be 35% extra healing, this would be insane for you. So I would get the max mutations first, grab the healing, and then it's a toss-up between HP and health. Stamina is what kills you. HP doesn't kill you, stamina kills you, because like if you drop your guard, you die. But yeah, healing, like I feel like you want all these things besides hunger and thirst strength. Now for our mutations, this is going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to be getting Blade Master. What Blade Master does is whenever you hit an enemy, it will put a debuff on them that make them deal less damage to you, and it makes it easier for you to stay in the fight. So you're going to be dealing less, they're going to be dealing less damage to you. And then attacking creatures with a sword temporarily removes your stamina timer, and this is really nice to help you stay in the fight because you're going to be blocking a lot. They're going to take a lot of stamina, and you want to be able to punch back. So you know, it's really big when you have this maxed out. We're also going to be taking Frenzy. Frenzy is going to give you more melee damage, and is also going to give you health regeneration while you're enraged. The moment you hit them, you get enraged, but the biggest caveat to it is your perfect block timing is reduced. That's actually fine with this build because you actually want to block more. The Frenzy actually works out really well for this build. We're also going to be taking Cardio Fan. Cardio Fan is going to help you regen stamina faster, and then this is going to lower the time that you're actually exhausted. And because you're going to be dealing with a lot of damage pressure from multiple enemies as well as like wolf spiders and stuff, this is once again a really big one. I think Cardio Fan's mandatory. Unlike most of my other builds, I actually go with resistances because you're going to be frontlining. The one that I take is the Venom one specifically because the only thing that I think could kill you is Venom. And even then, like with your regeneration, especially if you have that 35%, I don't really see that killing you either. But you max this out, you get that 35% extra healing, and I just don't see how you die in this game. Like it's just not possible. Like I'm not even fully set up there. Like I don't have the Venom, I don't have the 35% healing, and I don't think I've died yet. So yeah. And there you have it. That is my unkillable tank build. Tons of lifesteal, consistent healing, and enough raw durability to make you feel nearly unstoppable. And it's not just defense, it's about turning every hit you take into an opportunity to heal and hit back harder. Now, if you enjoyed this build or found it helpful, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I'm covering everything Grounded 2 and pretty much every major release that you care about. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the build, what would you improve, and your overall experience with it so far. My name is Fervor, thank you guys so much for watching, and once again, I'll see you in the next one very soon.